welcome back to the Edmonton Dermatology Center YouTube channel. We're so glad you joined us. Today we have another hot topic.
Rosacea.
Yay. So my name is Karen and I'm here with Andrea, who is a licensed LPN here at the Dermatology Center, Edmonton Dermatology Center. And today, like she said, we're going to be talking about rosacea, the causes, the types, and the treatments. We all want to know how to treat that rosacea. So invest in your skin. It's going to represent you for a very long time. And that was said by Lyndon Tyler. A new study by the National Rosacea Society states that 415 million people worldwide are affected by this skin condition.
Big number. Rosacea is a skin condition that many people don't even realize that they have it. Some patients come to us concerned that their skin is just really dry on their face, and they have a tendency to flare up with very little help with moisturizers.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Yeah, a lot of dry skin out there.
Yeah. So let's again get into the fundamentals here. What exactly is rosacea?
So rosacea is a condition of the skin where you have two problems. You have dryness and you have vascularity. Vascularity meaning blood vessels. So they tend to be quite right in the middle of the face. So there's two ways of rosacea presents essentially. So you have the butterfly, so it's across your nose and your cheeks, or you have just the full face. There's also different forms of rosacea. So you have the regular rosacea where you're just red. And you have maybe tiny little vessels all over in your cheeks, or you even have just straight vascular, so you have large vessels that you can see. Usually when you're sitting across a table from somebody, you can actually see a blood vessel. There's also papular-pustular rosacea, which kind of looks a little bit like acne sometimes, but they don't have the kind of white heads. They're just a little bit more bumpy, red, inflamed, kind of all over the face. It's not necessarily painful, it's just dry feeling, so it has kind of a tightness to it.
The next question is, how do you clear up rosacea?
So rosacea is important to clear up because it can cause a bit of discomfort, like I said, the tightness, stuff like that. To clear it up, you really need to make sure that you have good skincare. That's the main factor with rosacea, is making sure that you keep your skin hydrated. It needs its proper balance to make sure that it has a good barrier on your skin, so you're not producing any sort of inflammation, which is redness, and causing irritation, stuff like that. So usually mild cleansers, really good moisturizers, no exfoliation whatsoever, because it can be harmful for rosacea. So it's really something that, to get a better understanding, you really need to come in and kind of talk to someone directly, be referred to a dermatologist if things are really severe and over-the-counter stuff is just not quite working.
Oh wow, yeah. What is the main cause of rosacea?
So again, it all depends on the type of rosacea that you have. A lot of it is genetic, actually. So mother, father, somebody in your family has rosacea, the likelihood of you having rosacea is actually quite high. Also, it can be environmental factors. So if you live in a dry climate, you have a tendency to be a little bit redder, drier skin. And it's just, again, a vicious circle of dryness, redness, your body trying to compensate by growing extra blood vessels into your skin in the top layer where you actually don't really need it. That top layer being the epidermis. You have plenty of blood vessels in your dermis to feed your skin, but with rosacea, because it's so dry, your body's trying to compensate for it. So it's growing these extra vessels. So like I said, when you're sitting across a table from someone and you can see the vessels on their face, that's their body trying to fix the dryness. So when there's more vessels, means there's more blood in this top layer of the skin, which then dries out the skin some more, and then it's just this back and forth of dry, red, more vessels, dry, red, more vessels.
Wow, it sounds,
it's a little complicated and
not fun either.
Not fun either.
So can you tell us what all the different types of rosacea are?
I think I might have talked about that already.
You did talk about the butterfly and was that kind of
papular-pustular?
And then all over, yeah. Okay. So you kind of talked about all of them. So there's really not too many. There's just more and more and more. How do you treat rosacea?
So again, the key things with rosacea is making sure that you have balanced skin, so your skin's not too dry Also making sure that we try and reduce the amount of blood vessels that are growing into the skin, into the epidermis essentially. So there is a couple of different ways to treat rosacea. It all depends on how you present to us. So again, you go see your family doctor. If your family doctor is unable to help you, or it's to the point where you are really severely dry and you're having a lot of trouble trying to control the flare-ups of rosacea, ask your family doctor to give you a referral to a dermatologist so you can speak to them directly and try and figure out with your dermatologist exactly how to fix this and what steps you need to take. And also, like I said, skincare is really important. So coming in to speak with someone like myself or us, any of us here at Edmonton Dermatology, we can certainly kind of sit down with you and figure out what is the best plan of action to help moisturize your skin better, reduce any extra irritation, reduce the redness, stuff like that.
Okay. So who's most affected by rosacea?
Most effective is actually, it's pretty equal between men and women, and it's actually more skin types 1 through 3, so those being more Caucasian background. So in dermatology, we always factor everybody into different skin types. So they're usually the lighter skin. So like myself and Karen, we have tendencies to be a little bit more red, especially when we get in the sun. We go red instead of darker, stuff like that. So it doesn't really affect skin types 4th or higher, simply because their skin is a little bit more protective. And also, like I said, environmental factors. So the sun can trigger it a little bit more. Irritants like pollution, just stuff like that can really harm the skin and dry it out, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do I care for my skin with rosacea? What tips do you have?
So obviously trying to minimize your sun exposure. The reason being is the more dry your skin is, the more likely to burn. So keeping your skin hydration, which of course, keeping your skin hydrated, of course, is the #1 important thing with rosacea. Also making sure that you're not using skincare that's causing irritation. The other things too is keep mind of what triggers your rosacea. So flare-ups, what triggers your flare-ups? So some people eating spicy food can actually cause a flare-up. Having alcohol can actually cause a flare-up. Even just like scratching or even talking about your rosacea will cause a flare-up. So just kind of be mindful of your day-to-day, like what makes it flush a little bit more, that it's, it's very apparent. Even stress can actually cause rosacea to flare up even more. So maybe kind of think about like what exactly is going on in your day that's making your face redder and redder.
Yeah, for sure. Now you said hydration. Does that mean something topical you put on your skin, or is it also drinking water?
It's both, actually. It's important to get that balance both ways. Obviously, we all know that drinking water is good for your health as it is, but it actually does help your skin too. So the more hydration that you take in orally is great. Also topically, and that goes for the entire body. There's other conditions that people suffer for their body that don't show up on the face, but moisturizing is very important. And the best time to do that is actually as soon as you wash your face, tone, you put on your moisturizer right away.
Oh, good tips. So are over-the-counter or drugstore products effective in treating rosacea?
So over-the-counter medications or drugstore products, they usually are, again, meant to be able to treat everybody. So no matter what type of skin type you are, you can use it, but then is it really helping you? Not normally. So the thing is with rosacea, you also need to factor in what type of rosacea you have. So I do believe I mentioned before that there's the vascular part of it, which is a little bit more. There's also pustular papular rosacea that actually has all those like little pimply things that kind of looks like acne, but not quite. Those are the type of things that we really need to figure out if that's what you have. There's different creams and stuff that needs to be applied to the skin to avoid having extra flare-ups or calm down those little pimples, stuff like that. So again, it's really important to have a consult with a dermatologist, or even us here at Edmonton Dermatology as a cosmetic consultation, to really figure out what it is, what type of rosacea that you have, and try and figure out what best products to use. Over the counter, like I said again, is kind of a variable. We're not sure what's really in it, what's not in it, and it's also created so that everybody can use it and nobody's going to react to it, which means it's not really going to help people either.
Right.
Yeah.
how do I minimize the flare-ups of rosacea? Like what are the triggers that I can avoid?
So yeah, the triggers is, like I said, you need to be mindful of what you do in your day-to-day. If you find that your stress level is really high all the time, maybe it's time to consider a lifestyle change. So if you tend to flare up when you're really angry, then maybe it's time to take a step back, maybe invest in yourself. Also, spicy foods. I know everybody likes spicy foods, but keep in mind, if that makes you flare up, you might have to cut back a little bit. Pollution, unfortunately, we can't all fix that. We're all trying. Essentially, it's just making sure that you protect your skin when you're outside from pollution. And sun. Sun exposure is huge. The sun really dries out the skin, especially depending on where you live. It can really dry the skin out. So making sure that you're wearing sunscreen is quite important when you have rosacea.
Oh, good to know. Is rosacea a lifetime skin condition?
Unfortunately, yes. So rosacea, because there's a genetic component in it, now there's some researchers that say yes, there's genetics, some researchers say no, there isn't. It's one of those things that it's like, well, most of your family members have it, the likelihood of you having it is going to be there. So unfortunately, genetics, we can't fix genetics. We kind of need them to be the way they are. So essentially, it's just one of those lifetime things. It's a matter of getting it controlled. That is the main goal with rosacea, to reduce those flare-ups, keep the skin calm and hydrated, just so that it's happy and healthy, and it's not that flaky dryness, redness, angry, all that kind of stuff.
Wow, thank you so much for breaking that all down with rosacea and how to treat it and the types that there are. Thanks for joining us here on our YouTube channel at Edmonton Dermatology Center. Don't forget to subscribe and like our video if you liked what you heard and it helped you. Let us know in the comments as well. And stay tuned for more great tips and treatment ideas.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.